And ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
And we're back. Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
I'm Jay Reeve.
And today we are talking about the wonderful living doll. Often regarded, if not as one of the best Twilight Zones, certainly one of the most iconic. Talkie Tina is a kind of immediate iconoclastic character. You know, it's she's got a catchphrase. Well, she's got like 10, and she's kind of always there. It's an immediately recognizable. Well, let's talk about that straight away. So this is based largely on What If Chatty Cathy Was Evil. Chatty Cathy was a hugely popular doll in the 60s, voiced actually by June Foray. And Jay, you know what June Foray sounds like because they brought her in to be the voice of Talkie Tina.
Good job. Good job on them.
I know. I like when people are down a game. Like,
yeah.
Nothing annoys me more, and I know this is very specific, but like when Brian De Palma and they made the decision for the first Mission Impossible movie to have the John Voight character be the villain, and how Peter Graves turned it down and said he wouldn't be a villain. And I was like, why would you not have the humility to, you know, have what an incredible, you know, and have some body anyway. So with this, it's great that June Foray didn't have any. I mean, paycheck's a paycheck.
Yeah.
Did you know of Talkie Tina? Had you seen Living Doll? What was your relationship with Living Doll? This is from the 5th series, one of the final episodes.
I had no idea. I had never seen it, but I was so up for it.
It's great. It's a great episode. You know what I love most? And I mean, I'm saying this like it was a choice, but they have 25 minutes. Tina's straight in with I don't think I like you. Like there is no bullshit. There is no 10 minutes of like you know, the doll. I mean, is the doll talking? Or, I mean, there is, but there's no 10 minutes of Telly Savalas as what's his name? Eric. Thinking that he's going mad and second guessing the doll. Immediately, he believes wholeheartedly that the doll is alive and talking to him. And he's great. So we've talked about this before with a few of the other Charles Beaumont episodes. This was one of the Charles Beaumont episodes that were written during / near the end of his life with his terminal, well, not terminal, but with his dementia diagnosis. I believe it was a form of dementia. And so this episode, although credited to Charles Beaumont, was written by Jerry Soule. And the way that they would work is that they would have these sort of coffee meetings and they'd pitch ideas and that sort of thing. And then Jerry Soule would write them and Charles Beaumont would be given the overall writing credit. And none of this really came out. Jerry Soule was very quiet about it until the Twilight Zone companion and Mark Scott Zickery did his interviews and that sort of thing and balanced the score. But that was obviously after Charles Beaumont's death, which was very valiant, Jerry Soule. Anyway, so Living Doll. We open with Annabelle. Didn't even realize she was called Annabelle until like the final 5 minutes. Another great, creepy doll.
That's good point.
And she doesn't need another doll. She's alive, Daddy, and her name's Talking Tina. Immediately, questions arise, not about the doll, about what the hell this marriage is.
What I was gonna say in the last episode was that this guy, I thought he had a phobia of dolls or something.
It is building up to
he had
something like that.
He had some backstory where a doll killed his family and then continued to stalk him for his entire adult life.
Maybe he had a creepy clown toy that would speak to him in the night.
Maybe, and it would just say sassy things at him.
And it would, yeah, oh, don't you know? And oh, mate, every time I look at a doll, I hear the sound of bagpipes. I don't know why my voice for Telly Savalas is a broad New York taxi driver, but it feels right.
I hear the bagpipes, son.
Yeah. And yeah, sorry. So and immediately he's awful to Annabelle. I don't know how this stepfather situation, how this second marriage came to pass. I can only presume that Annabelle's taste in men is atrocious, and that the other guy was awful too.
It feels like some arranged marriage, because,
yeah.
I do not feel the love between them.
It feels like he is the awful first husband, and she is sneaking off to have an affair with somebody else. Whereas in actuality, he's the stepfather. He's the guy who's come into, maybe worst case scenario, like the father that she loved died, and so she just wants to bring somebody into the house to be a father for Christy, sorry. Either way, the relationship's not good.
No.
Now we get some more Freudian gibberish we get from that doctor. So who's with the therapist? Is it Christy or Annabelle?
I'm assuming Annabelle.
Yeah, it's not Dr. Luton's fault. It's not Dr. Luton's fault that she feels the way she feels like she feels.
Oh, wait.
And then we get the first reveal of Tina. My name's Talking Tina, and I don't think I like you. and then immediately Sir, like, Talking Tina, the doll that does everything, a lifelike creation of plastic and springs and painted smile. To Eric Streeter, she is a most unwelcome addition to this household, but without her, you never enter the Twilight Zone. And then it does the ding, and it's like quite cheerful, like quite a. It's building up into a sort of like this goddamn doll, and like a wacky comedy. Which is
and then it opens like the seed of Tina.
Yeah, the bride of Tina. Is there any talkie? I guess they would be tied up in rights and that sort of thing. But it feels like we could get a talkie Tina in somewhere in the Chucky series.
100%, definitely.
I hate that bitch.
Just 100%. It would just be him.
Or maybe he would, or maybe he'd try to sleep with her, and the bride is jealous.
And Tiffany would kill him.
Immediately straight into again. My name is Talkie Tina, and I think I could even hate you. And it's not even straight in with, and I hate you. It's I think I could hate you.
Yeah. I think I could.
Immediate react, well, not immediate reaction. Well, no, it is more or less his immediate reaction. Straight against the wall. Which is wonderful. And then Annabelle comes in. Oh, Eric, is there any need for you there for that? And then she says, and she tries to be nice to him. She tries to be amiable, and straight in with, oh yes, and he immediately starts mocking her because I'm only a stepfather and I don't love her because because we're incapable of having children.
Oh,
it's like, again, Annabelle seems like a nice woman. She's a pretty woman, she seems to have. We go into then obviously 60s psychology and social commentary. Was it this hard for a single mother to lock down a nice guy?
Apparently so, yes.
And then we get the dinner table, and she's talking with the doll, and eat your dinner. She's feeding. Christy's feeding Tina. Eat your dinner, Christy. And then that great first wink. Oh, I didn't know your doll could wink. Tina can't wink, Daddy. Really? I thought no. That's the only time we kind of get that doll just, oh, am I mad or not? And again, it's the sort of stuff that because although I think the first Child's Play is a perfect movie, there is an element of watching Child's Play again, the first one, and having a bit of like the first 30 minutes of, come on, we know he's real. We know he's.
Come
I
on,
know he's.
I want him to stop being a little bastard.
Yeah, I know that
Yeah.
Andy didn't do any of this. I know it's not Andy. Like, and this movie again, that's a 90-minute movie. It's got to have an element of that, but this is a 25-minute episode, and it just doesn't have any of that business, which is great. And then they both leave, the two women, and immediately, my name is Eric Streeter, and I'm going to get rid of you. and then it's the first time we get Talkie Tina not saying something in that, my name is Talkie Tina, and she goes, you wouldn't dare. And again, just so brilliantly bitchy and catty. At this stage, Jake, what did you think where did you think the episode was going? Did you think it was going to be a sort of, is it all in his mind or not episode? I mean, obviously we're in the Twilight Zone, so there is always that element of, we know that the doll is going to talk.
I think it kind of went the way that I expected. I think just from past examples of these kind of stories where you know, there's been people being like, in other films or TV shows, like, oh, the doll's trying to kill me, and then at the end they're like, well, he really went crazy because of that doll and died.
Well, I mean, not to ruin the ending, but there is a version of this ending where we don't get that final line from Tina of, you know, you better be nice to me, to Annabelle, and it ends with, you know, she finds the cop. It's like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, he tripped on the doll. Oh, he was crazy. And then we cut to an epilogue scene or something like that, and everybody's happy in the family. But no, Serling chooses to. Sorry, Charles Beaumont choose to end it with this, with Tina revealing herself to the mother as well. And you don't want to end up like this poor little bitch on the floor, do you? You don't want to end up on the floor. Tell me, Annabelle. Yeah, you're gonna be nice.
Yeah.
And then oh, wouldn't I? Annabelle would hate you. Christy would hate you, and I would hate you. And then again, immediately into some great back and forth with the doll. So you have feelings. Doesn't everything? But I could hurt you. Not really, but I could hurt you. Threats from a doll. Now he's turning into Al Pacino in the 90s. Where is Annabelle's father? We've discussed this. Terrible taste in men. We can only presume. And was there a part of you that thought this is going to be a story about Telly Savalas's redemption?
I think maybe in my head a little bit.
Yeah.
I was hopeful.
I think he's too mean from the off.
But then he also, he sucks. So
and then he starts in on this paranoia thing, whether it's a prank or whether they're just trying to get at him, where both of these women, one of them being a very small child, is trying, you and Christy are trying to get even with me. For what? What has he done? What did he do?
It's because he can't have children. So they're going to torture him with a doll.
Yeah. And then he puts Tina in the bin, and again, the cinder blocks on top, brilliant stuff. And then it cuts to him. Maybe the most disgusting thing he does. He's just sat on his sofa shelling what can only be described as the biggest bowl of nuts ever made. And he's just shelling them all, laughing. And then we get this, they find Talkie Tina's back, and my name is Talkie Tina, and I'm going to kill you. And we get the ad break. Did you think we were going to go full Chucky and like the doll was going to be walking around, or did you always suspect that it was going to be some sort of accident and there was going to be plausible deniability?
I think, I don't know. I think because it was the 60s, and sorry, I don't think I
It's
was
fine.
expecting her to run around with a knife in her hands.
It would have been
Really.
good.
It would have been good though, yeah.
It's I mean, we are both big Chucky fans, and is there an element of going back to this? It feels a little bit too simple. I think this has just enough, and I think that it's because it goes kind of straight into um um straight into Tina talking for real and never hiding away.
Mm,
Yeah. Um yeah. So I think it works. And definitely in that Twilight Zone rigor. And Tell Us if Alice is so
sorry,
good.
sorry, you just reminded me that I need to watch Chucky season 3, and
Yes, Chucky's is yeah.
it comes out on Blu-ray in 12 days. Okay, cool.
I think I've pre-ordered it.
I think I will be
Yeah,
after this episode.
there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just wonderful news. Wonderful. I need to when do all of the Child's Play movies what for Halloween? Maybe. I'll see how I feel. Um and then we're back and we're immediately almost immediately into the scene of Christy sleeping with Tina and Eric coming in and Daddy, please, I'm not your daddy.
Oof.
Christy, it leads one to think about the parent-father relationship because Christy clearly sees Eric as his father. So how long has the real dad been out of the picture? How long has Eric been there? What do you think?
I maybe living together a year.
Something like that.
I feel like they would have been seeing each other for a bit beforehand.
Yeah.
And then this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is where I mean, there is a Twilight Zone ending, where we pull out and we see another Talkie Tina doll being dropped off at a family, and and then the guy behind the door goes, "Having trouble with you?" He sees a couple arguing on the street, and he goes, having trouble in your relationship? Man, I reckon. Hey, I think a kid deserves a doll, don't you? And then he gets into his van and who's the patron saint of love? I don't know.
I don't know.
Carers for children, maybe. I don't know.
Brad Dourif.
That would be great. A great Dourif cameo. Then he takes Tina down to the cellar and puts her head in a fucking vice. And starts squeezing her. Are we missing both eyes popping out?
I don't know. I don't know. I like that she was indestructible.
It was great. I mean, you'll die. I can stand it if you can. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. The blowtorch. And then that's the buzzsaw. Oh. What a woman she is. And then Annabelle moving out. And obviously I'm moving out, or whatever she says. And then he goes back down to the pin. And we get this moment of almost redemption, where he's like, okay, I was crazy. He goes back down. My name is Talkie Tina, and I don't forgive you. Brilliant. Every line she does is excellent. He ignores it, gives Tina back to Christy. All is good. All is good. And then he wakes up in the middle of the night with the sound of the doll whirring. And then he is looking around, and then he trips down the stairs to his death. And Annabelle comes to find him, and she hears Tina, my name is Talkie Tina, and you better be nice to me. And we get this slow zoom out on this final still tableau, and it's such a great, great closing image. And Serling, of course, we all know dolls can't really talk, and they certainly can't commit murder. But to a child caught in the middle of turmoil and conflict, a doll can become many things. Friend, defender, guardian, especially a doll like Talkie Tina, who did talk and did commit murder in the misty region of the Twilight Zone. Very, very funny. And very, very dark, and very good ending, and just an overall great, great episode.
Yeah.
What did you think overall of Living Doll, Jake?
I mean, you could probably tell that I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel I don't know. I just like creepy doll stories. I think I got traumatized by an episode of The X-Files when I was a child that my dad had on.
There is a lot of like Twilight Zone riffing,
Yeah.
like on sorry, pardon me, X-Files riffing on famous, like the great, one of Prometheus episode of that,
Yeah.
riffing on previous concepts brought up in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I think it's the
And
episode Chinga.
written by Stephen King.
Yes, of course it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I wrote this of it years ago. Another iconic episode of the show is a very simple one, more or less, and in many ways works on as many levels as a family drama as it does a horror tale of the supernatural. The source of the Annabelle legend, which would too eventually make its way onto the silver screen, this tale from Jerry Soule, ghostwriting for Charles Beaumont, is a story on one level of a stepfather attempting to kindle a healthy relationship with his stepdaughter, but on another is a chilling journey into the heart of a man plagued by a supernatural figure of sentient evil, in this case, a talking doll. Telly Savalas is the undoubted standout of the episode as Eric, the man tormented by this titular living doll. Savalas offers as a little off-kilter, but only gets more and more unnerved as this story places its dominoes and lets them fall one by one. Very witty, Thomas John Carruthers.
Ooh.
Just get it, because he falls at the end. There was an interview with June Foray on my Blu-ray where most of it she just spent quoting the episode or talking about her other things. There was one particular interview where she was saying, I was Cindy Lou Who in The Grinch. That was with Ted Zeus. She's done so many things that she's an incredible woman. She's done over 300 credits. And in this interview, every time she like tries to move on multiple times and stops herself, she'll go, and I was Rocky and Bullwinkle. I was the Granny in the Granny, and I've done so many different. I was Alvin. I did Alvin and the Chipmunks. So she does this twice, like listing, and then stopping herself to go. I've done such incredible work in this incredible. Talkie Tina. I was Talkie Tina in Talkie Tina, and then she does this thing where she would say, "I'm Talkie Tina." And then this thing happens, and then Tina says, I think you should rename your cat Tina. It's not your cat. It's not your cat.
It's not, so I don't have the right.
I'm trying to remember what episodes I was caring for. Well, you did such a beautiful anime drawing of me and Boo Boo.
Oh, that
the one,
was cute.
Henrietta's wonderful Boo Boo. I don't know where Boo Boo is right now. But I hope she's well wherever she is. And I can't remember what episodes it is where Boo Boo pops up. They're like, Boo, who's here?
Oh,
I should try and find those. I love you, Boo Boo. Jay, any final thoughts on wonderful living doll?
my name is Toki Tina, and I love this episode.
It's a great episode, Jay.
Yeah.
My name is Toki Tina, and if I'm not in your top 20, I'll fucking kill you, you stupid.
I'll rip out your fucking spine, you little bitch.
Why won't it let me do? Let's have a look. So you can use the same photo that we just used because nothing's changed. 5 characters was not a top 20 cracker. I presume you want Living Doll to be a top 20 cracker, and I agree with you. So let's play the game then. It's better than Third from the Sun. It's better than Where Is Everybody? It's better than People Are Alike All Over.
Yeah.
This is where it gets interesting. I think it's better than Nick of Time and Stop at Willoughby.
Yeah.
I think it's better than Perchance to Dream. I
Mm,
really like the silence.
yeah,
I would, silence is the one with the throat,
yeah,
with the
you can
voice
tell that I'm
box.
checking. Okay. I'd put it above the silence.
Okay. Above the masks,
Yes.
I'd put it above Obsolete Man.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't put it above
No,
Nightmare at
yeah,
20,000
neither
feet.
would I. I'll draw
So
the line there.
we'll cap it at our
Yeah.
brand new number 12. And that takes us past halfway on this weird multi-decade spanning 50-year episode run of the Twilight Zone that we're doing. The wonderful living doll. What are we doing next? I should do this. Let's have a look. Can you quickly see what's next on the roster?
Mhm.
So that was one of the few, to be frank, good episodes from Series 5. And we're diving into, another good episode from Series 5, actually. The wonderful Steel. Great, great episode with a bizarrely sad ending, which don't want to ruin. So you'll see that, but it's like unnecessarily sad. Anyway,
Okay.
the wonderful Steel. There you go. Okay, Jay, thank you very, very much.